If you're just joining us, welcome, welcome. Um, John, you're welcome. Amit, you're welcome. Raphael, you're welcome. Blessing, you're welcome. Emmanuel, you're welcome. I see you guys. You're welcome. So you guys should just chill around. Once it's 12:05, we're going to start the class proper. So as usual, you know how we do it. If you are currently in this live section, I'm dropping a message now. So go ahead and react so I can know you're active, right? All right, all right. I can see some people reacting. Amid, you reacting. AY, you are here. Raphael, you are here. I see you. If you've seen the message and kindly react to, you're welcome. You're welcome. If you're just joining us, you're welcome. All right, all right. Okay. I can see some people joining us. Sam, see, you're welcome. Okay, I can see more people reacting. Parrot of OAU, you're reacting. I see you. Blessing, I see you. If you're in this live section and you have not reacted to the message, your attendance is not going to be taken. So make sure you react to the message so I can know you. Okay, I can see some more people reacting. See, Yade, okay, you are here. You're welcome. Okay, we have more reactions here. We have more people joining us. Okay, Emmanuel Omogbemi, you're welcome. So it's almost 12:05 before we start the class proper. Okay, Oluwa Pelumi, I can see you. Nafisat, I can see you. You're welcome. Welcome to this introduction class. Okay, it's 12:05 already. All right, all right, all right, all right. Welcome, welcome everyone to today's sections with Inox Hub. So today we're going to be treating introduction to web development, right? So basically you're going to be guided through on how web development works, the introductory class to it, right? Giving you insights of what web development is all about, right? So today's lecture is going to be taken by instructor Diamond, as you all know. So I want you guys to make sure you pay attention, right? Um jot down the best that you can, right? And also make sure you follow up, right? I want to address something that most people are not dropping their comments on what they learned during the last class. So today, I want to make it mandatory for everyone that is here. Everyone that is here, I can see you. Blessing, Dimulade, Samson, Raphael, Peace, Amid, Nafisat, John, Salimo, Evaristus, Emmanuel, the second Emmanuel. I see you all. So I want to tell you guys that once we're done with this section and the video is uploaded on YouTube, I want you guys to drop everything or anything you've learned that you are going to learn during this class section, right? So with that being said, I'm wishing you the very best and I'm going to hand over to instructor Diamond now to take you guys on introduction to web development. So Diamond, over to you.
Hi, good afternoon.
Please charge before using it.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you, sir.
Oh,
Please
confirm
charge
if you can hear
before
me.
using it.
All right, Adidechi. So I'll be giving you messages now. Yeah, I think there's a network glitch. Maybe I hear me like 10 seconds or so. All right. My name is being your instructor this class. Introduction to Web Development. So I'll be sharing my Please, can you confirm if you can see my screen? Just react if you can see my screen. All right, that's fine. It was like someone wants to join.
Okay, so it's coming to my notice that some people are just training us, and I don't know why you guys keep coming late for class, right? Once it's 12 o'clock, 12:05 marks, if you're not here, it's going to be taking extra effort for the tutor to be admitting people and be teaching you at the same time. So please, it's because we're still dealing with the introductory aspect of tech and everything. Oh, as from next week, once we start the class in proper, anyone that comes late is going to basically wait for long before the person is admitted. So please kindly take note, guys.
All right, we'll continue. So today is introduction to development. So before I continue, can someone tell me what he or she knows about web development so I can know that? Oh yeah, you can just signify by raising up to call you. Anybody? Okay, you can talk, Raphael.
Okay,
Okay, I can see John. Okay, Raphael, you can talk.
web development is the process of building and maintenance of websites, applications, or anything that has to do with online platforms or anything that has to do with online, anything that has to do with online.
Okay, okay, okay. That's nice. What about John?
Yeah, well, to my understanding, web development has to do with building
Okay.
and developing websites or web applications for people's use.
No, that's correct. I mean, both of you are right. So I don't just put it according to what I have here. So web development refers to developing websites for the internet, as we all know, the World Wide Web, or for the an intranet, that is private network. But what we all know is the internet, World Wide Web, where we go to maybe facebook.com, would see the websites. And so the web development is the process or the development. So the programming is what we call the web programming. So the act of developing a website, that is the web development. So it's the creation of dynamic web applications. For example, you can see Facebook, as I said, Amazon. I want you to know that there are two types of web development: the front end and the back end. So we also call the front end the client side and the back end the server side. So if you are in a team, you often hear that what's happening at the client side. That means what's happening at the user side. What's the user saying? So you are coding, you are using programming language to code, but what's the user saying? So that's the front end. So the pictures, the colors, the text that the user is seeing is called the front end, which is also called the client side. So the back end is what people don't see. You mean when it checks for login details, I mean it's happening at the back. Nobody knows what the authentication is. How does it know that your email is correct? How does it know your password is correct? That's what we call the server side development, the back end. So are we all clear on that? Can I have a thumbs up or a reaction? Okay, okay, okay. I can say that. I want to know that front end is, these are the most common types of front. When we have HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So HTML is the structure, CSS is the colors, while JavaScript is the behavior aspects. So we'll say that along. First one is the when they start to see all these things, people clapping this post to set the foundation, the structure. I mean, it's not fine at the beginning. It's not fine. It's just a structure. Then the CSS is what is styling it. Look at the colors on it, things, everything. But look at JavaScript. The house has this elevator for the house. Like it has an elevator in it. We can see in this short term that HTML is the structure, CSS is the styling, the colors and everything. While JavaScript is the behavior. What happens when you click on this? What happens on to level 4 in this elevator? What happens? That's the Java in the website. So as HTML means hypertext markup language. Hypertext markup language. That's the meaning of HTML. So we can all see this, right? We can all see this Amazon. You can react if we can see this Amazon. Okay, okay, nice. Yeah, following. So we can all see this Amazon. We can see the logo. You can see the colors, the signing, the orange color. You can see the text and everything. But can you imagine how this page would look like without HTML? Let me show you an example. Looks ugly, right? This is how it's going to look like if there's no HTML. It's just going to be plain. Amazon, your account, sign in, what is your email? Look at how everything is jam-packed. So it looks ugly. So without any markup to give your page content structure, the browser renders unformatted and unstyled text. So without HTML or CSS, the page just looks like this. No styling, nothing, nothing. No, it looks boring. So HTML tags give us that structure. Remember I showed you the house with structure. So the tags gives us structure and meaning to our content. For example, if you want a paragraph in a website, this is what to do. This is the tag for it. This P means paragraph. If you want a table, this is the tag you use. If you want a form, this is the tag you use. So this thing is just like structure. There are structures for the website. So this is how everything. This is an example of a whole form. The form of the Amazon. This is the form that the div. Look at how it is structured. The H1 means header around the head. But you know how to look like with only HTML. Let me show you how to look like with only HTML. Look at it. There's no color, but it looks better. But it's not. But it's just structured. That you can see the signing, we can see the email, we can see the text box, we can see the forget password and everything. It looks better, but it's still not good. So now we move on to the CSS. And the full meaning of CSS is cascading style sheets. So CSS sets is defining how an element will be presented in the browser. Like I said, the house with structure and when it is colored. So it helps us beautify the page. So look at it for example. So that paragraph, if we want to have color red to show as this. So if we want the style to be italics, it will show as this. So if we want the background to be yellow, to show as this. So whatever you write at the left, just look at the results at the right. That's CSS rule. I mean, as more as you dig deep into this HTML, you understand what I'm saying. I will dig this full web development, understand better. These are the things you can change with CSS. You can change the colors, you can change the fonts, the font size, the background, the spaces, the sizing, the borders, and the position, the layout of the page. That's what you can do with CSS. But these are the things you can't change with CSS, the content and the markup. These are things that is for the HTML. So let's put some styles to that Amazon page and see how it will look like. Are you guys ready? Let me have a thumbs up or reaction if you are ready to see how it looks like with CSS. Okay, you guys are ready to look at it. This is it. Looks perfect. Looks like the beginning. So the CSS puts the colors, puts everything. Now it looks more beautiful. Perfect. So you can see the text. Now we see with the HTML. Now we see with colors with CSS. So imagine a website without all these things. It will just look at the first. It will look like the first one. Now we added HTML, which is the second one here, and this is it with CSS. So the HTML is like the structure. CSS is like the styling. Yeah. You know what? Let's go for action now. The JavaScript. The main. Please, I heard this stereotype. I heard these things of people saying JavaScript is Java. Please, JavaScript is not Java, and Java is not JavaScript. Please, don't get it twisted. JavaScript is not Java. So this is how JavaScript is not Java. JavaScript was not developed by Sun because Sun that developed Java. JavaScript was developed by Netscape in 1995. It was originally called LiveScript, but that name was confusing enough. But you know why they changed it to JavaScript, because people were using Java that time. So if somebody hear of JavaScript, they'll think it's something like that and all of that. So that's where the confusion started from. So JavaScript is not Java. So basically, JavaScript is not Java. So classic JavaScript is a client-side language used to add interactivity of your web pages. For example, as I told you about the elevator, when you click on, okay, take me to level 10, you can just take it to level 10. So as the web page, if you click on, let's say, sign in, what should happen? It should take you somewhere, or maybe there should be a pop-up. You can see the pop-up. So that's like the JavaScript. And why is it called classic? It's because now JavaScript can be used in the back end now. The classic JavaScript is like the front end, where you can see when you click on something, it will pop up and all of that. So let's look at how JavaScript is being used in the front end. So it can be used for validation. Look at this now. If you want this place to be at least 4 characters, it will tell you, like, if you cannot enter 3 characters, or it will shout on you that must be at least 4 characters. And the email must be something@something.com. and the password must be the same thing. So these are like the things we can do on JavaScript validations, the behavioral aspects. Look at this now. It's showing you the suggested results. So when you type on Google now, it shows you like the things as if it knows your mind. It shows you the things you can write. You can just like complete the statement for you. This is JavaScript in the programming language, JavaScript. Like it's telling you the things that people have searched on. So if you are trying to search on it, it checks for that and shows you the results it thinks it can have for you. This is an example of another JavaScript in action. For example, if you are scrolling Twitter, for example, if you reach the end, you see like a loading stuff happening, like it will load another post. So that loading stuff is like JavaScript. So it's trying to tell you that if you reach the end, load another post. For example, the slideshow is also JavaScript and much more. So at the beginning, JavaScript was designed to manipulate web pages, and it does that very well. But nowadays, its usage is much more wider. You can use it outside of web pages and the browser. I mean, people can use JavaScript now for data science in a way, but it's not that common. So basically, it's just for development. And that is the end of the web development, introduction to web development. Do you have any question? Because I have questions for you guys. Please, if you have question, you can raise up your hands and I will see you. Can I get a reaction if you are following? Okay. No question. Okay. So I'm going to share one of like the first websites. Okay,
All
somebody
right.
has the first question.
Sorry, somebody have a
Okay, you
question. Yeah,
can talk. Nora.
Evaristus, go on.
Okay, good afternoon, sir.
What
Please,
did you say?
good afternoon. Please, what do you call the full meaning of
Yeah.
The full meaning of CSS, please.
Okay, the full meaning of CSS is
Uh,
cascading style sheet. Cascading. Let me share my screen again. So this is it, cascading style sheet.
All right, thank
Can
you,
you
sir.
see it?
Yeah, I can see it. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome. Any other question? Okay. Wait, let me wait for 10 seconds. Any other question? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, going.
all right.
Without what?
Okay, something is asking that can
Without what?
HTML
Somebody
and
asked a question.
CSS can be used without Java. Okay, so I guess
I want the person to talk.
not all of them want to talk, but I guess something is having that same syndrome as we said as Amstar and ARM, right? It's also mixing Java and JavaScript together. But something, do you want to make your question clear,
Okay.
or is that what you're saying?
I'm sorry for using the message. It's noisy here, that's why I couldn't.
No problem.
The what I text was that can HTML and CSS be used without JavaScript? Or I mean, can it be complete without JavaScript?
Yeah. So this is it.
All right.
Like I
Sorry.
said,
Instructor Demon, please.
HTML.
Before you answer the
Yeah.
question, let's ask the comment section, the audience first, if they have any answer to that. So, does anyone want to answer Samson's question?
Okay.
If you know you can answer Samson's question, kindly raise up your hand or just drop a message. Some people are hiding; they don't want to talk. If you get the answer right, you're collecting something. Oh, there's always gifts for you. So somebody's asking the question again, right? So the question Samson is saying is, can HTML and CSS be used without JavaScript? So that's the question. Does anyone? All right, we have a hand raised by Evaristus. Evaristus, go ahead. Evaristus, do you want to answer the question or you have your own question?
My hand is not raised though, but then like, I want to. I think
Go ahead.
to my own. I think it might work, but not complete. But both of them worked hand to hand.
All right, very good. We have other people hand raised. We have Emmanuel and we have John Doe. So John Doe, you're first. I can see your hand first. So go ahead.
Yeah, so when you make the website or the web app without JavaScript, with only HTML and CSS, the website will look very, very fine. Because of the HTML, it's going to have a lot of structure to look well arranged, and the CSS will give it a lot of styling. So it will be well structured and look fine, but without JavaScript, it will not be complete. There are like several functionalities that you won't be able to implement. So it will look fine, but it will not be complete.
All right, very good. Thank you, John Doe. I was actually saying John Doe before, but I didn't know it was John Doe's. Thank you. That's a very, very detailed answer. I guess somebody else wants to try. Amid, go ahead. So, John Doe, you can raise down your hand now. Yeah, thank you. So, Amid, go ahead.
Okay, good afternoon. I think with what I learned from the class today, I think it's JavaScript that makes, how will I say it? It's JavaScript that makes what happen. Like when it comes to execution of particular task or implementation of something, JavaScript that makes it happen. It's HTML is just like you said, the structure, and CSS is just the style of the particular page. So without JavaScript, I don't think the entire thing is complete.
All right, very good. Thank you very much for the answer, Amid. Instructor Diamond, you can add to the answer that they've given.
So yes, I really like everybody's answer. It shows that you guys are paying attention. So all of you are correct, and so it depends on the website you want to build. For example, if you want to have a house without an elevator, you just build the structure and the colors, and you have the colors. And some people don't even need the colors. You just have the like Wikipedia now. You can't see colors of red, black. They don't really have color like that. You get. But it depends on the requirements of the website you're building. If the website requires you to build with HTML and CSS alone, then you can build that. But if you have certain functionalities of maybe signing in, you click on something, what should happen? Um, maybe it's going to have a slider, validations, stuff like that. So yes, you require JavaScript for that. So am I is that clear? Uh, all right, all right, all right. Thank you. So is there any other question? Oh, somebody said a website can be created using HTML and CSS without JavaScript, but it will lack over effect, animation, and responsive updates. Hmm. True, but
Okay.
again, you can also do over effect on CSS. Effect is for CSS. Animations also is for CSS. It still has to do with like styling. So if you hover on something, it shows red. But responsiveness too is also CSS. But you see, all these things, it depends on the requirements of the website. Now, sometimes you use JavaScript for over effects, animations, responsiveness because it has to do with logic. Sometimes the requirements has to do with logic. So, but basically, over effects, animation, and responsiveness are for CSS. So as we dive deeper into web development, you understand how and when to use things. Yeah,
Yeah,
you want to say something?
I was actually looking at Nafisat's response to the answer, and I think there's a kind of glitch there because she said a, a website can be created using HTML and CSS without JavaScript, but it will lack over
Yes.
effects, animations, and responsive updates. All right. I would say
Yeah.
the answer is not 100% accurate because we have over effect on CSS. CSS can also be used for over effects. Animations, in fact, mostly I think CSS is always used for animations, right? I think we have the on animate, I guess in CSS, right? So CSS is in
Yeah.
fact that's one of the major use of CSS, right? Styling, making it beautiful, right? So JavaScript is just going to add to the source, right? So CSS can handle animations very well, right? But JavaScript is just going to make the animations more sweeter, right? To give it more spice, right? And the last one that she made mention of is responsive updates, right? So responsive updates, I don't really get that, but you can always update your website if you build a website with HTML and CSS. Obviously, you should know that then the website is going to have just structure and styles, right? So if you push that update to GitHub and your website is live, right? Even though if you don't know what GitHub is, you're going to get to know about it once we dive into the class, right? So GitHub is just a platform where developers put that code on, right, to get hosted and stuff like that. So if you build a website with just HTML and CSS, right, and you push your code to GitHub, right, then after you deployed it, it's live on the internet now, right? You can still make updates to your code and push your code changes to your GitHub, and the updates are going to be available live, right? So it's not it's not compulsory you use it's not compulsory that you use JavaScript before updates can be made. Do you get? So instructor Diamond, do you have any questions for them? Because I really love what you did because basically you talked about the front end aspect. I think we're still going to get deeper into the back end development aspect also. But making students ask questions and getting to understand the web development in O is very, very crucial. So do you have any questions for them, Diamond?
Yeah, I have a question for them based on what I said. So I want to show them a website. But
All
before I do that, I think somebody asked another question. Moses Agaba. Though I'm a newbie to all these programming language tools for web development, such as CSS, JavaScript, etc. So I want to ask if all these tools are in form of application. Hmm.
right. Hmm.
What I going created development? Is that someone is just joining in? So the application is responsible for understanding those languages that you write. So this JavaScript has its own language. For example, English. There's English, Spanish, and French. So JavaScript is a language. HTML is a language. CSS is also a language. But you need an application that can understand them, and that is an IDE, which is Integrated Development Environment. So that is it. That application will be able to understand what you are saying and give you the desired results. I don't know if you get that, Moses. Did you get that?
All right, let me add to what Instructor Diamond said, right? John does also made the comment that I'm not sure there are languages, right? Which you are correct. HTML and CSS are not programming languages. So, as we said earlier, HTML means hypertext markup language for the structure of your website, while CSS means cascading style sheets, right? for styling of your website. So HTML and CSS are not programming languages, right? But JavaScript is a programming language. So let's go back to Moses' question now. So he said, though I'm a newbie to all these programming language tools of web development, such as CSS, JavaScript, etc. Right? Um, so take note that CSS is not a programming language, right? But let's move on. So I want to ask if there are tools, if all these tools are in form of application. So to add to what Instructor Diamond also said, he said you should take a look at it as languages, right? So let's look at an example in Nigeria now. So in Nigeria we have different tribes, right? We have the Yoruba, we have the Hausa, we have the Igbo, we have the Ibibo, we have the Efik, so on and so forth, right? Fulani, there are like a lot to mention, right? So that's how programming languages are, right? So we have JavaScript. So take a look at JavaScript as Yoruba, something like that. So Igbo, we have Python, right? So we have different languages, right? And for you to understand these languages, you have to learn them, right? So you have to learn them. So basically, to answer your question, there is a platform that is used to write those languages, right? So as he said IDE. IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. So these are the platforms that you use to write your programming languages, to code, right? So we have different IDEs. You might have heard of VS Code before. You might have heard of PyCharm. You might have heard of Spider. You might have heard of Anaconda. There are so many to mention, right? So those IDE are the applications that you are going to use to write your programs, right? To write HTML, to write CSS, to write JavaScript, right? Like for web development, the most popular IDE is VS Code, if I'm correct, based on stats. And for Python, we have
Yeah.
Anaconda and so on and so forth, right? So there are applications that you use to write these programming languages, and this application is known as IDE. What does IDE stands for? Integrated Development Environment, right? So it's the environment that you use to write your Python code. So I guess we answer your question very well, Moses. So Diamond, yeah, your question for them.
Yeah. So yeah, before I continue, see, you can see example of HTML language. This is it, and this is example of a CSS language. So you just need to understand them. So I'm not. It's new, so you have to like take your time to learn it. So you don't have to like rush. It is expected that you ask these questions. So yeah, I also asked these questions when I was starting. So
Yeah,
it is
I
expected.
even feel like
So but the more
the-
you
them looking at this thing barely, they should be able to tell what it's about, right? So they can see color red. Basically, it's saying that you should turn the color to red,
yeah
right? Title, font style, italics. That means put a font style of italics there, right? Border, but you might not understand border, but you should know what border is in pictures, right? So one pixel dotted blue. So you should know that it will be a border with a dotted line and it's be color blue, right? So it's very, very simple. That's why HTML and CSS is like most simplest thing to learn when you're learning web development, right? So most people always run away when they get to JavaScript because they know that it's a programming language and it's kind of hard to learn and stuff like that. But trust me, it's very, very simple once you can understand the basics, and that's why Inox Hub is creating this platform to help you guys to understand the basics so you guys can build projects and start exploring the tech world yourself, right? So over to you, Diamond. Yeah, continue.
yeah. So I'm going to show you a website. This is one of the websites I built when I was starting. I'm going to show you the website. So you're going to tell me the parts you understand as HTML, CSS, JavaScript. You can tell me the functions of, I mean, of the website. What part is HTML? What part is CSS? What part is from JavaScript? So I'm going to show you now. So I'm going to explain the whole functionalities, and you guys will tell me about it. So I'm going to present it now.
All right. So we'll be taking just two answers. If you're very fast and you can answer the question, please make sure you do so because we're going to be ending the class very soon.
Yeah. Can you all see this? Can you all see this? Can you
Oh
all see this website?
yes, we can see your screen,
Matrix.
sir. We can see your screen, sir.
Okay. Okay. So I'm going to explain explain it quickly. So this website showcases like one of the top 4 movies platform, Netflix, Disney, and Apple Plus. But that's not the point there. So you can see this. I'm hovering on it, and it's showcasing the title, the details, and there's a check mark here, which is if I want to add to watch list. So when I click on this, it shows red. The background shows red, and if I click on this, it takes me to a page that should show. I think this is network. Let me start again. Let me refresh the page. And it has done.
All right. So Moses is saying that network logged him in. Don't worry, you can actually go back to the section and listen to it again. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. I don't know if you can still see my screen.
Yes, we
Can
can
you
see it. We can see your screen. We can see your screen.
issues?
Outer banks, a tight night group of teens. Yada yada.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. 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 So when I click on that movie out, it brings me to this place. It shows the full details. So I can also click on add to watch list. Wonderful. When I add to watch list, it shows red and it shows minus. So if I click on roof, it shows plus with a white background, add to watch list. So if I click on add to watch list, it shows red with a minus. And if I go to my watch list, I should see those two movies that I added coming. I think I'm having this network. Okay, yeah, it's coming on. Yeah, so I added these two, the gray anatomy and the outer banks. That's under the watch list. So for example, look at this now. Look at this. If I click on this, it expands and it tells me to like what can I search for. Let's say I want to search for blood. So give it a minute. I think there's a little bit of network. Yeah. So it shows these. It shows like the previous ones. It shows me the movies that has blood sisters. I know this one is from Netflix. I don't know where this one is from, but that is all about it.
All right. So does
So
anyone
you
want
can
to
just tell me,
answer the question Ishogo Diamond said? Yes, sir. By taking two people that are very, that can be very swift in answering this question. Anybody? Kindly raise your hand up so you can just mention the HTML part,
yeah.
the CSS part, and the JavaScript part, based on the examples and based on what it does show you guys now. So does anybody wants to answer that? Anybody? Or do you want me to call names? Mm, mm, mm. Should I call names? Okay, somebody said something. Okay, that's the instructor. I said after searching for plus sisters, the
You
option
can
brought
just
out
talk
plus.
now.
All right.
Yeah, you're
Evaristus, are you
right.
there? Evaristus. Oh, Adedeji Ayomide, is that someone? Is that a student?
That's a student too. I'm wondering. That's exact
Because
my exact name.
exactly, because I was confused that is the instructor answering his own question because the instructor name is Adedeji Ayomide, and okay, so Adedeji, you're very correct. So he said, so he said after searching for blood sisters, the option brought out was the work of JavaScript. All right, very good, nice. Anybody else? Wow.
Okay.
So who's going to pay fine? Is it the instructor or the student? I guess to pay the instructor. All right. All right. Anybody else? So Moses is laughing. So Moses, can you answer the question? Just any
What's his
ASAP.
answer now?
Moses. Moses. John. Olasupo.
John Todd. You're also laughing now.
Okay, somebody dropped a comment, right? So ASAP. Blessing said the structure, the positioning of the movie is the work of HTML. Add of pictures and overing is CSS. Nice, nice, nice. Let me clap for you. Nice, nice. Okay, so Samson said when you search, I think that's the work of the CSS. Diamond, is that correct?
In what way? What part?
That
What part?
part.
He needs to be clear on what parts
I
of
think
searching.
HTML
Is
was
it the part of when the
as I said, HTML was used for the search bar. JavaScript was used for the response when the structure click add movie. I think that's making sense. Evaristus. All right,
hmm,
go on.
that makes sense.
You
That
have
that's
you
that's
have
right. Somebody's raising
six,
up in that.
yeah,
Happy.
Evaristus, 60 seconds.
Okay,
Like
just
one
like
minute.
you said that just like you said that HTML is for the website structure. So when you're putting before the pictures, that's before the graphics, that is HTML, and we know CSS as styling. So we use the graphics to style the website. So that one is the work of
Yeah,
CSS.
yeah.
Okay, very true. Very.
So
Somebody dropped a
JavaScript.
comment that when you search for the movie, it's blood. Oh, I think Moses is something is adding to what he said before. So he said when you search for the movie blood, then I think that's the work of CSS. Credits to JavaScript for the clicking and responding. Nice, that's very correct, right? So on click, that's the behavioral
Hmm,
aspect of the website.
that's
That's
correct.
very
Credits to you
correct.
too.
All right, so very good.
So when you search for the movie, let me answer something. Let me answer something. When you search for the movie Blood, it's it's in first of all it increases the search box, which is the work of CSS. But when you click on enter, that is the work of JavaScript. When you enter something, what is it supposed to do? It's performing that action. That's JavaScript used there. Something. Okay, next. Emmanuel. The part where HTML played is in the arrangement and flying of the movies. The role CSS played was in the color and then JavaScript was used for query searching so to find movie. Yeah, you are very right, Emmanuel. Yeah, you are welcome, Samson. You're very right, Emmanuel. I get that. Or over to you, instructor.
All right, good. That's a very very awesome section with Diamond. His name is Adelaide Amide. If you don't know, you can go ahead.
Oh, I didn't check. I didn't check somebody's Nafisat.
Oh, Nofisa said we didn't check her answer. I actually didn't see Nofisa's answer.
Nafisat. I'm seeing you.
Oh,
I'm seeing you.
we
CSS
answered we
was
answered your question
used
already,
for the
right?
layout for the website. HTML is used for this.
Search bar and JavaScript was this.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we answered
You
it.
are very, very right.
Very correct. Yeah, that's very very good.
I think so, but you're right too. Also,
All right,
so
that's a
that's
great
all.
job. That's a great job. Thank you, Shopper Diamond. It was an interactive and interesting class. For me, I learned a lot. Now I know what HTML and CSS is and stuff like that. So with that being said, thank you guys for joining, and that will be the end of today's class. Make sure you go ahead and watch the video on YouTube or drop a comment of what you learned today. And yeah, it's Dave Ward, and see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. You're welcome.